Tonight, the Pirates take on the Arizona Diamondbacks in the first of a 3-game series. The Buccos' two-city, 6-game road trip continues. Much better results at Wrigley Field yesterday as the Pirates beat the Cubbies 7-1, and they take on the Diamondbacks for the first time this season. Greg Brown, along with John Wayner and Robbie and Smikowski, will also be joining us. And joining the Pirates back in the rotation, Joe Musgrove will be making his 4th start now because of the fact that the Pirates activated Ivan Novin. He pitched yesterday. Musgrove gets an extra day of rest. John, he wasn't as good his last time out against the Dodgers. He was really good his first 2 times out for the Pirates.
Great the first 2 times out with the Pirates, and I'll give the Dodgers some credit. His last time out, he went 5, gave up 3 to a very talented and hot offense, but man, he's been great at just attacking the strike zone. He's got late movement, he cuts the ball, he sinks the ball, has a good hard tight slider, he'll throw the changeup, and he can locate it, and as long as he can do that, he's going to limit most offenses.
Well, you know, an unsung hero, you'd probably say, if you're an Arizona Diamondbacks fan, the left-hander who goes today is Patrick Corbin. You know, he doesn't get a lot of attention. 6-2 in ERA, 9th lowest in the National League. Pirates have done good work against him, but he's a tough customer.
That ERA at 2.87, despite his last couple of home starts, an ERA of 7.5. Yes, the Pirates have had some success with him, but this guy's talented, not a very hard thrower, but he has a deceptive fastball and possibly the best slider for a lefty in baseball.
Well, the Pirates will certainly have their work cut out for them, not only on the mound, but at the plate. Paul Goldschmidt, he is on fire. We'll talk about the D-backs first baseman when we come back. The sun was pretty hot today, approaching 100 degrees. Nothing compared to what Paul Goldschmidt has been doing the last couple of weeks. Phenomenal. People were kind of writing this season off. But Goldschmidt has had other ideas. John, it's becoming like record type numbers here.
I mean, I'll volunteer him as the guy to pitch around this offense. It is really ridiculous. In the last week, he's raised his average like 46 points from 208 to 254 because he's hit 640 in his last 6 games. I mean, it's incredible what this guy's doing. He's hitting every pitch you throw up there. He's hitting it out of the ballpark. He's hitting it into the gaps. You know, he's always been one of the best hitters in all of baseball. 208 through 57. Certainly not Goldie-like, but what he's doing the last 6 games, even go back even 15 games, is maybe historic.
It's our Barrel Automotive League leader stat. Yep. Paul Goldschmidt is on fire, so it'll be up to Joe Musgrove and the pitching staff to try to contain Goldie. We'll have the first pitch coming up momentarily. First back to the studio on a game break. Chase Field here in Phoenix. It's about 105, I think, right now outside, so it makes sense that the roof is closed. And Bucco fans on hand. See if the Pirates can win their 2nd straight. The RAV4 starting lineup features Josh Harrison leading things off. That's Austin Meadows and Starling Marte. Career .375 batting average here in this stadium. David Freese is hitting cleanup with Corey Dickerson in left. Elias Diaz catches once again. Josh Bell, Jordy Mercer, Joe Musgrove. Starting 9 for the 32 and 33 Pirates.
Patrick Corbin, 81 2/3 innings, 105 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 188 against him.
Underway. Ball 1. 81 degrees inside, 107 outside to be precise. 2-0 count now on Josh Harrison. Has a little 5-game hitting streak going. He was 2 for 5 yesterday and homered to start the ball game off Kyle Hendricks. And the Bucks really never looked back. Of course, they had the big bust out inning in the 6th. They led 1-0 and then a 5-run 6th made it 6-zip, and they coasted after that. And the home run for Josh Harrison leading off the ball game.
A good slider from Patrick Corbin. Got a lot of downward movement to it. Opponent's hitting just 127 against that pitch.
And line foul.
And if you're going to hit the slider, that's where it's going to be, up in the zone. He left that one up a little bit. Josh was just a bit out in front.
You mentioned Patrick Corbin, 6-2, 2.87 ERA. Won 14 games last year, had an ERA just over 4. And in the air to center. Owings with a little bit of room. 1 out. Get to the Honda defense behind Corbin. You just saw Chris Owings make the catch in center. Daniel Descalso in left. David Peralta is in right. Jake Lamb, Nick Ahmed on the left side. Ketel Marte is the second baseman. Paul Goldschmidt at first. John Ryan Murphy is catching, and Paul Goldschmidt won his 3rd straight Gold Glove last year. Perennial MVP candidate. As Austin Meadows takes strike 1. All new to Meadows. These new stadiums. Each visit, although as Robbie Makowski documented over the weekend, he had been to Wrigley Field as an amateur. 1 ball, 1 strike on Meadows. This is his first trip inside this stadium, making his 19th major league start. Corbin out in front of him, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's hitting lefties at a .435 clip.
And actually, Corbin, lefties hit a little bit higher off of him than right-handed batters. Lefties 207.
Tells you how good he is. Righty's just 183. 2-2 on Meadows. Corbin, Syracuse, New York native. And Torey Lovullo, what a great job he has done as the skipper. They went back to the postseason last year. They were a wild card entrant. And down on strikes goes Meadows for the 2nd out.
And he's used to getting chases almost half the time. He throws that slider. Opponents chase it. It's the best in terms of getting chases in baseball. 45.9% of the time they chase that slider.
It's incredible. Now he suffered the loss to the Reds 2 starts back. Bounced around, gave up 6 runs in 6 innings. But other than that, over a handful of outings, he's been excellent.
It's an interesting list when you talk about the top 5 in terms of chase percentage. Patrick Corbin with that slider, Corey Kluber with his cutters just below him. Sean Manaea, his changeup 40% of the time. Jared Hughes, his fastball.
Wow, how about
Jared
that?
Hughes' fastball is chased out of the zone 40% of the time.
My gosh. Jared Hughes now with the Reds, former Pirate reliever. 2-2 now on Starling Marte. He's 0 for his last 11. A .375 career hitter here. But he is struggling lately. Just 2 hits in his last 22 at bats. And not to throw a ton of numbers at you, but he's hitting under .200 against lefties this season. Been kind of an odd couple of months for Marte, but this time he lines it into left. Over is Descalzo, and Marte will head into second base with a stand-up double.
He did a nice job that time. I believe that was the slider. A little bit off the end of the bat. Yep, there you see the break. Not a bad location. It was down, although middle of the plate. Marte. And that great speed. Descalzo no chance at second base.
Eighth double of the year for Marte, and the Pirates try to score first again in the first inning. David Freese is batting cleanup. As he takes ball one. Pinch hitter in the eighth inning yesterday and picked up an RBI on a ground out. He's 1 for 7 on the road trip. And it's 2-0. Corey Dickerson to follow. 15 RBIs for Freese. Since Josh Bell's been out of the cleanup spot, Clint Hurdle has used Francisco Cervelli, who's still not able to play. And Freese. Colin Moran there yesterday. Two and one. Today, Clint Hurdle said Freese has been there before. There's Colin Moran, who was 0 for 4 with a walk as the cleanup hitter yesterday. And now 2-2.
That's a good location. You're not a hard thrower. You keep the ball down around the knees or below.
.28 years old, Patrick Corbin from Clay, New York, near Syracuse. Second round pick of the Angels in 2009. Three and two.
I was actually watching the series of signs that John Ryan Murphy had put down. The final sign was a changeup. Changeup was a pitch that Corbin threw a year ago, but does no longer throw it.
So because of that, that's you can know, forget it. It's
Yeah.
not changeup sign is just worthless. 3-2 the count. See, being very careful here to Freese. Lefty hitting Corey Dickerson on deck, but Dickerson is batting .319 on the year and has hit lefties well. And slapped to right off the glove of Goldschmidt. He slows it down, so Starling Marte is going to score. We just got done talking about Goldschmidt, the Gold Glover, and he'd have been better off letting that ball go through. Instead, he slows it down and should have caught it, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was hit right off the barrel, hit very hard. Now, you don't always expect that as a first baseman, a right-handed hitter like Freese hitting a ball right at you over there, but he's in a position to make the play, and it's just off the end of the glove. Well, they are not going to give David Freese a base hit, which I'm sure is not going to make him happy. Usually you see that rolled as a hit when a ball is hit that hard, but an error.
Just the third this season for Goldschmidt. And now Corey Dickerson.
And especially when you have a Gold Glove defender at home, you're usually not going to see them put that error up there.
Well, Dickerson 1 for 5 yesterday. A .319 average, 7th best in the league. Exact same location, 0-2. Corbin was traded over to the Diamondbacks in July of 2010. Tyler Skaggs, Joe Saunders in the Dan Herron deal. And just a roller to second. Ketel Marte throws out Dickerson. Pirates get one with 2 outs. They score 1-0. After a half inning. And now the Diamondbacks line up. Daniel Descalso, followed by Paul Goldschmidt. Big numbers OPS against the Pirates in 38 career games. Jake Lamb hits third. Then it's John Ryan Murphy hitting cleanup. David Peralta in right. Ketel Marte is the second baseman. Chris Owings, Nick Ahmed, shortstop. Patrick Corbin facing Joe Musgrove.
Joe, his 4th start, his first on the road. Impressive 2-1 record, a 1.89 ERA, 17 punch-outs, 19 innings. He's been working fast and very efficient, only averaging about 13 pitches per inning.
One career relief appearance against the Snakes. That was last year with the Astros right here in Phoenix. 1 1/3 scoreless. Daniel Descalso, veteran, leading things off and hitting .345 over his last 10 games. And the strike is called. Seven homers, 31 runs batted in for Descalso. To center and Starling Marte. So a couple of pitches in, Musgrove gets an out. Puts the ball in play, does Descalso, and Starling Marte makes the catch. Pirates defensively, Corey Dickerson, Austin Meadows on the corners. David Freese, Jordy Mercer, Josh Harrison, Josh Bell around the infield, and Elias Diaz, second straight start. And again, Francisco Cervelli not able to go tonight. And the Pirates probably going to have to make a decision about a DL move. Paul Goldschmidt fouls a pitch off. They had him throwing out in the outfield and even in the bullpen. He took a foul ball to the side of his face, took some BP, but not ready to go just yet. Goldschmidt with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's tied a major league record with 2 or more extra base hits, 2 or more RBIs, 4 straight games. Five straight multi-hit outings over the course of this stretch. .682 batting average, 15 for 22, 6 doubles, 4 homers, 11 RBIs. See what he's done each month from 144 in May to this.
And he actually got hot at the end of May. You know, I mean,
yeah.
we noticed his last week, and incredible what he's been able to do. But you know, he really started heating up about the last 15 games or so. He's hitting well over 400.
And nice work from Musgrove to strike out the hottest hitter in baseball.
I like the way he goes about his business too. He just comes out attacking, aggressive, throws him a fastball pretty much down the middle first pitch. Then he ran a couple fastballs in, one away with a fastball. And as a hitter, no matter how hot you are, you start seeing so many fastballs, you're going to speed it up a little bit, gear up for it, and finish them with a beautiful breaking ball.
Might have heard Michael McHenry talk on the pregame show about those breaking balls being a big weakness of Goldschmidt in the month of May. Jake Lamb, .234 hitter, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. One ball and 1 strike on Lamb. Diamondbacks just finished up a sweep of the Rockies at Coors Field. In on him, roller to Harrison. And 1, 2, 3 for Big Joe Musgrove. 1-0 after 1 in Phoenix. First of a 3-game series in Phoenix. Checking our lows. Whole team together. The Bucks with a number of guys who've done damage against lefty pitching this season, including Elias Diaz. He and Austin Meadows both hitting .435. Corey Dickerson, Josh Harrison. Minimum of 20 at bats. Diaz will lead things off. He had a big RBI single in the 6th inning yesterday at Wrigley to give the Pirates a 2-0 lead. He had 2 more hits bringing that season average up to 291. And he's liable to get the bulk of the catching, you would think, especially if the Pirates decide that they need to put Francisco Cervelli on the disabled list. 2-1 on Diaz, with Josh Bell to follow, and then Jordy Mercer against Patrick Corbin.
And we always talk about how difficult it is as a bench player to go out and perform at this level. I think it may be even more difficult for a backup catcher to play sporadically, especially the big workload for Francisco Cervelli. Diaz, I mean, he's been used to playing most of the time throughout his minor league career and hasn't had a whole bunch of at-bats, but he's been rather consistent.
Pops this ball up and the ball drops. A little confusion there from Owings and Peralta. Ball held up there for a while. Base hit for Elias Diaz.
I'm going to guess that the center fielder Owings called. Well, I don't know. I didn't see him calling for it there, but the right fielder Peralta, for whatever reason, gave up on it, and so that's why I figured if he's going to give up on it, then that means the center fielder called it. Not sure if that's the case or not, but yeah, that ball has to be caught.
So a couple balls that maybe the Diamondbacks feel should have been caught. We'll see if that David Freese liner doesn't get changed to a hit off of Goldschmidt's glove. A strike was called there on Josh Bell. The home plate umpire is Jim Wolf.
And I'm going to say that I think that was a first pitch curveball, and so that pitch was never anywhere near the strike zone. And if that was a strike every time it's thrown, that's about an impossible pitch to hit. Anything that's that far off the plate and down, a breaking ball at that.
One and two on Bell. 3 walks yesterday and an infield hit. Hitting in the 7th spot of the order, hit 6th yesterday, down from that cleanup role he'd had.
Well, I'll say this about Josh Bell and Gregory Polanco, who has been talked a lot about with their struggles. Impressive their RBI totals. You know, you got Josh Bell with 34, Gregory Polanco with 31. I mean,
yeah, considering their struggles, imagine if they were hitting like they can, and Bell chases at that pitch in the dirt.
Shortstop, number 10.
That's that breaking ball again. We've been talking about that slider. That's Corbin's bread and butter. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to chase that pitch.
Second strikeout for him. Here's Jordy Mercer. Mercer 3 for 9 in his career against Corbin. He also had an RBI yesterday. Strike. He's not able to hold up.
And that is not the slider. That's the curveball. And I mentioned that he doesn't throw changeups anymore. And he's kind of replaced it with that big looping slow curveball. The slider there, you're going to see it in the low 80s. The curveball, low 70s. There's about a 10-mile-per-hour difference in velocity between the two pitches.
So it's a ball and 2 strikes as Murphy blocked that one in the dirt. Joe Musgrove on deck. And another chase. For the second out. 3 Ks.
Pitcher, number 59,
for Patrick Corbin.
Joe Musgrove.
Corbin has 23 3-pitch strikeout moments this season. That's the second highest total in the National League. So 23 times he's struck out an opponent on 3 pitches. Max Scherzer is first in that department with 35 as Musgrove lifts one to center. Owings. And that'll do it. Leadoff hit. Diaz left stranded. And that pop up. 1-0 Bucks in Phoenix.
Is brought to you by T-Mobile. Show your military appreciation and use hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. And by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Randy Johnson, saw him earlier today, about a half hour before game time, having some fun with a young Pirates fan. Give him that cap back. Big unit. Plenty of Bucko fans on hand. And the Pirates leading 1-0. Pirates are back home. Long homestand begins Friday night. Free Shirt Friday against the Reds. And they'll be hosting these Diamondbacks the upcoming homestand. Here is Bradenton's own John Ryan Murphy. 8 homers, 17 runs batted in. Hitting cleanup. And into center. Waste no time. Base hit to center field.
Pretty good hitting right there. I mean, that wasn't a bad pitch. Usually talking about that fastball down and away for a strike. Those times hitters just take it. They don't slap it up the middle first pitch.
Lefty hitting right fielder David Peralta. 11 home runs for him. He's driven in 31. And a first pitch strike at the knees. Joe Musgrove started the year on the disabled list and makes his 4th start as a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Extra day of rest because the Bucks decided to activate and pitch Ivan Nova yesterday. What would have been Musgrove's day to start. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he pitched well. Didn't go all that deep into the game, just 5 1/3, but only 1 run on 4 hits, 8 strikeouts. Got the win. Looked sharp. Hard hit off the glove of Josh Harrison. Oh, he would have just had to settle for the 1 out at first base, but instead doesn't stick. So the base hit for Peralta puts runners at first and second.
We're talking about this with Michael McHenry before the game. I mean, it's a huge outfield. The ball typically carries here, and the infield's lightning quick. You know, the ball was hit hard, but man, it just flies through here. This is such a great hitter's park, and Jay almost making a great play.
It brings up Ketel Marte. Last dozen games he's hitting about 360. Tries to bunt and fouls it off. Switch hitter Marte. Oh, had 10 consecutive hits go for extra bases. From May 29th through yesterday, which matches a franchise record. 5 doubles, a couple of triples, 3 homers.
And the only problem with that particular play, especially you have a guy that could hit for extra bases, could hit the ball the ballpark. You're bunting. If it's a sacrifice and you move him up, you got a 195 guy behind you. Then the 8th hitter.
Bounce to short. He's too fast to get 2. 1. Almost. Almost. Made it close. The out at second.
Yeah, your only chance has got to be hit very hard for 1. And maybe if you come get it, you take a step away from him. If you come and charge it hard, or if it takes Jordy right to the bag, but that ball wasn't hit hard enough at that speed.
Chris Owings, on the other hand, if he can put the ball on the ground, Pirates have a shot to get out of this. Owings hitting 195 with 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Diamondbacks as a team, now they've heated up, especially with Goldschmidt, as we've mentioned a couple times. Still, team batting average of .223 is the lowest in the league. But that is a little bit deceiving because there are a handful of players who've joined Goldschmidt, getting out of some slumps. Like the .223 team average is the lowest in all of Major League Baseball. Orioles hit .228, the lowest mark in the American League. Dave Magadan, the hitting coach for the Diamondbacks. A little dribbler, maybe an out at the plate. Yes. Good work. Musgrove had it there in front of him. And they get the out. 2 away.
Joe Musgrove, by the way.
Yeah, he's an athlete, isn't he?
He's an athlete.
Yep.
It's just not a great arm. He's not just a hard thrower. He can swing the bat. He took a vicious cut, ending that top of the 2nd inning. He's cat quick off of the mound all the time, and doesn't really rush it. He gets it with the bare hand, gives Diaz a perfect flip, gets it to him quickly.
Well done. Yeah, all the other parts of his game, just aside from that pitching, as John mentioned.
Competitive.
Yep. Well, Nick Ahmed now owns a 6-game hitting streak. And a fly ball to right. Meadows to the track. And that'll do it. Big Joe gives up the first 2 hits and then gets the next 3 outs. And it's still 1-0 Bucks.
I'm Robbie and Smikowski hanging way out here in home run territory by the pool here at Chase Field. Unfortunately, our friends with the Pittsburgh Police and Fire crew are not here on this trip this weekend. But another thing we might not see as much of are home run balls that land out here. And one of the main reasons why is a humidor, I should say, was installed here at Chase Field. They wanted to do it last season, but they did not get it done until this preview season. And look at the numbers of the last 3 seasons, a significant decrease in home runs per game hit. In 16 and 17, Chase Field was 2nd and 4th respectively in home runs per game. Now they've dropped to 21st. Now, one of the primary reasons for installing the humidor, Greg and Rock, was CEO Derek Hall, the Diamondbacks, said it was the difficulty for pitchers in gripping the baseball in Arizona's hot, dry air. Now, a study last year estimated that a humidor would reduce home run production at Chase Field by 25 to 50%. Now, these numbers are slightly skewed only because the Diamondbacks offense hit a pretty big struggle at some point in time last month. So we'll see how this whole thing trends out through the rest of the season. But after 2 months, it's been a significant drop in home run balls here at a place known for a lot of them flying over the fence.
I always wonder about what that does for the the players on the Diamondbacks.
Look at Goldschmidt's home splits.
Right.
He's hitting 160 at home.
Yeah. I mean,
he's hitting over 300
the
on the
point
road.
is, like, what do they think of this?
Oh, I'm sure they don't like it.
Yeah.
They've hit more home runs on the road than here. Yeah, it's yeah, you have to wonder. It's one of those deals where, as a hitter, especially a guy like Goldschmidt, he makes his living hitting the long ball.
Bouncer to third. Harrison is retired as Lamb throws on to Goldschmidt.
Right fielder, Austin Meadows.
Here are those splits John was talking about, home and road for Paul Goldschmidt.
Now, it's not all because of the humidor,
right?
Obviously, but it's quite a difference.
And he's made up a lot of ground in the splits department based really on this past week. 3 in San Francisco and 3 in Colorado. As Austin Meadows takes a strike. And Meadows lines it toward right. And Peralta. Two down. Saturday Bucks take on the Reds, 4:05 for his 20,000 fans. We get a Pirates Hawaiian shirt thanks to AT&T Sportsnet. Before the game on Federal Street, Margaritaville block party featuring live music, food trucks, and autographs from 1960 Cy Young Award winner Vernon Law. For tickets, go to pirates.com. Game 2 of that 3-game series. The Hawaiian shirts given away.
That ball Meadows just seemed like it died. I watched batting practice today. There was like hardly any home runs. It's usually like home run derby here. I mean, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. So humidor is serving its purpose.
I'm not saying that the ball Meadows hit is a home run, but I bet that thing carries further, might go off the warning track or off the wall. Could have been a double. So it's not just affecting home runs, it's affecting the carry on line drives. Nice little adjustment there by Austin. That's another thing that's impressive. It's almost like he sat slider, got it, and hit it hard. And I think, the second and third time through the lineup, Corbin throws fewer fastballs. So you're going to see more sliders, more changeups.
Line drive, foul. Starling Marte almost had his second straight double.
And so as we witnessed the first time through, the chases of the breaking ball in the dirt, especially the slider, you have to adjust, and you have to go up there, especially before you get 2 strikes. You almost just got to elevate everything. You got to see the ball above the belt. That's going to keep you from chasing that pitch below the belt that runs out, down below the knees or in the dirt. So up to 2 strikes, we'll see if the Pirate hitters will start looking for him to elevate at least up to 2 strikes.
It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Patrick Corbin. And after 2.5 in Phoenix, it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. Diamondbacks coming up, and tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Diamondbacks have A.J. Pollock on the DL. Broke his left thumb about a month ago. Going to be out at least a few more weeks. Steven Souza, by the way, also out on the DL since spring training. Landed him on the DL about 3 weeks ago. He had been bothered by a pec injury that he tried to play through and then landed on the DL about 3 weeks ago. So they have 2 key players missing. They also have a couple of starters that will be coming back, they believe, shortly. Here's the pitcher, Patrick Corbin, who was retired, hitting .261 before that bouncer. But Shelby Miller, Robbie Ray, a couple of starters should be rejoining the rotation before long. So the Diamondbacks, it's been a roller coaster ride. The first 2+ months of the season. In fact, they began the year without a series lost in their first 9 series, which is one shy of the Major League record to begin a year. And then very turbulent month of May for them. They've rebounded as Daniel Descalzo takes a ball. And right to Harrison. As Paul Goldschmidt comes up, we'll go down to Robbie.
Well, Greg, you were talking a couple moments ago about how hot Paul Goldschmidt is. Right now, he is on a historic run. 15 hits in his last 5 games coming in tonight, and among them are 11 extra base hits, and this is just how historic it is. The only player with 15+ hits, including 11 extra base hits in a 5-game span in the last 98 years. How about Lou Gehrig back in 1936? And he could put himself into immortal territory tonight. Since 1900, no player ever in the history of the game of baseball has had 5 straight games with multiple extra base hits. So let's hope maybe he doesn't reach history tonight.
That's pretty amazing. That stat, that note, in the company of just one other man, Lou Gehrig, that streak he is on currently.
Well, you figured it was just a matter of time until Paul Goldschmidt got going.
And right to third, David Freese. How about Big Joe?
Love it.
6-pitch inning for him. 1-0 through 3.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
1-zip Bucks. Double by Starling Marte with 2 outs, and David Freese reaches on an error by Paul Goldschmidt. It's been it so far through 3 in the first of 3. Freese hit a liner off of Goldschmidt's glove. It's Freese, Dickerson, Diaz. Checked, and he said no swing over there. That's DJ Rayburn. And to third. Quickly one out. Top of the fourth. David Freese is retired. Corbin, we mentioned that he was a second-round pick of the Angels back in 2009. The small community college in Marianna, Florida. Same college, I think, that produced Russell Martin. Chipola Junior College.
Played basketball too, right?
Yeah. Corey Dickerson, an all-star with the Diamondbacks last year. Tampa Bay Rays. Patrick Corbin was an all-star for the Diamondbacks in 2013. Underwent Tommy John surgery, missed all the following years. He strikes out Dickerson. Go back to the studio. Rob King has a game break.
Catcher, Elias Diaz.
Man, Ryan Braun has been doing that the last couple days, making fabulous catches. Rob, a wild game there in Milwaukee. Pirates and Cubs just finished up their series at Wrigley. Cubs winning 2 of 3. The Pirates are 7 back of the Brewers in the Central. With the Cubs a half game back, St. Louis is 3 off the pace. Cardinals are leading the Padres in the 7th inning 4-1. 1-1 count on Elias Diaz. A pop-up that dropped for a hit between the right fielder Peralta and the center fielder Owings in the 2nd inning.
And that curveball, when he throws that sneaky fastball and that hard slider, and when he flips his curveball, it must look so good to the hitter to hit. It's slow, it's up around your belt when it leaves his hands. Looks like a great pitch to hit, and he's getting chases on that one too. That was a nice play. A backhand.
Yeah, man. Great play. Let's assume that's a Bucco fan.
That's what I thought.
The Diamondbacks cap on backwards. Heck of a play, yeah. And the shortstop is as good as it gets over there. Sure-handed Nick Ahmed. And it's a 1-2-3 fourth. 1-0 Pirates. 1-0. Pirates go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Phoenix. And a Point Park University tweet. Blast today at PNC Park, taking BP, fielding, and having lunch in the clubhouse. Thanks, Steve. Talking about Steve Blast for letting me be your pitching demonstration assistant. Can't wait to add the Marte signed bat I won to my Pirates collection. Thank you. Ashley sending that out. Venture Alamo, little event today. And there's Starling Marte, who doubled and scored the only run of this ball game in the 1st. Jake Lamb coming up. There's a nice event, Father's Day coming up at PNC Park as well. Allegheny Health Network this Sunday going to get involved in the Father's Day game of catch. You can check it all out at catchforcancer.org. All the details. Fundraising event. Top 3 fundraisers going to win an exclusive experience. Chance to meet Jay Hay, Francisco Cervelli, or Jamison Tyone. Again, that's catchforcancer.org. And JMO tweeted out about that event earlier this afternoon. And that got a piece of Jake Lamb. It'll bring up John Ryan Murphy. And you can spend Father's Day at the ballpark with Dad. Pirates and Reds meet at 1:35. Kids and dads will be taking home a replica batting practice cap thanks to Kennywood. And don't forget the family fun zone out on Federal Street before the game. After the game, kids and dads can run the bases. And for that info, go to pirates.com/kidsdays for tickets. Murphy began the 2nd inning with a base hit, followed by a David Peralta single. Two-0 on the catcher.
And Joe looking for that Adam ball, trying to get another ground ball. He's gotten his fair share. In fact, 3 straight in the 3rd, routine grounders.
To left, over is Dickerson, just enough room, and back to first goes Lamb as Murphy put a charge into 1.
And that makes you wonder, humidor. I mean, it's a little bit of top spin on this one. It was a little bit away from him. I mean, I'm sure these Diamondback hitters probably think about it a bunch. Anytime the ball's hit to a wall, it gets caught, especially what could have been, what was a year ago.
First pitch strike to David Peralta. Hit the ball sharply on the ground, and Josh Harrison could only knock it down. That was in the 2nd. Former pitcher in the Cardinals minor league system, David Peralta. And he hits a fly ball toward left. Lamb still at first now with 2 down. Peralta flies out the other way. Musgrove will face Ketel Marte. Joe Musgrove grew up in the San Diego area, 25 years old, 6'5", 260. Drafted initially by the Toronto Blue Jays. First round compensation pick in 2011. Ketel Marte.
LaRussa isn't here anymore, correct?
Correct. You see, we've unlocked the doors here.
Yeah.
LaRussa's with Boston Red Sox.
I just noted a lot of St. Louis ties, a lot of former Cardinals.
Yeah.
Here in Arizona.
Definitely. I think he definitely influenced things for a couple years as the chief baseball officer for a while.
Yeah.
By the way, thank Pirate fan for dropping the fan off for us.
Very nice.
Scott Miller.
Kind of hogging it over there.
Well, I didn't think it would come into play for us. Would be necessary, but it's not bad actually.
Definitely not coming into
not
play
for you, I know.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think there's a bit of an influence on the Cardinal players that are over here. Some of them. Dave McKay, the first base coach, long time coach with LaRussa. And down on strikes goes Ketel Marte. Second strikeout for Musgrove. 1-0 through 4.
By Barrel Automotive. With express service, you're in and out in no time. Visit barrelservice.com to find a location near you. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Buccos have a 1-0 lead here going to inning number 5. And Josh Bell, who swung and missed at a pitch in the dirt from Patrick Corbin. One of his 4 strikeouts for the starter. 2-0. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Mercer to follow, and then the pitcher Musgrove. 4-pitch walk. For more on that Cardinal connection, go down to Robbie.
Yeah, you're talking about Tony La Russa and the Cardinal connection out here in Arizona. Well, last week the Diamondbacks acquired outfielder John Jay from the Kansas City Royals, set up a little bit of a reunion from St. Louis for this series. Descalso and Jay were teammates again after winning the World Series together in 2011. And of course, the MVP of that series was David Freese. Not only that, but those 3 guys won the AAA Pacific Coast League title back in 2009. David Freese told me it's one of the finest years he's ever had of his life and will never forget the time he spent with those guys. And Jay and Descalso were actually roommates playing on the Memphis Redbirds team in the PCL. So pretty cool memories these guys could reminisce about here at Chase Field, Greg.
Yeah, more ex-Cardinals. Robbie, David Freese. As Robbie said, MVP in the NLCS and World Series. Dramatic come from behind win for the Redbirds. We just mentioned Shelby Miller. It's going to be coming off the DL before long. A strike is called. So Jordy Mercer didn't think so, and as you can see, it was not a strike.
Yeah, well off the plate, and even a pull from the catcher Murphy.
Ryan Murphy blocks that pitch. Great to see Mercer get on and see if Musgrove can't bunt runners over. 4-pitch walk to Josh Bell. And toward right, and that ball is going to get down and stay fair, and this is going to be a double for Jordy Mercer. Second and third with nobody out.
Well, Jordy Mercer's hit his fair share of hard hit balls in Wrigley that were right at guys. This one not hit hard, tied up a little bit, but a pitch elevated. He caught it a bit deep. A little blooper down and just inside the line by a couple of feet. And so no need for Joe Musgrove to bunt. Maybe he can drive in a run or two.
He certainly can swing the bat. 2 for 5 already this season. Talked about how he and Stephen Brault were teammates in high school, and 3-4 hitters for the Hilltoppers, Grossmont High School in San Diego. And the infield does shorten up. Try and cut off the run. On a strike. Looking for his first career RBI. He is 2 for 10 at the plate. And there you see the runners. Bell at third, Mercer at second.
I didn't see it, but I'm hearing that Joe Musgrove went deep in BP today, up near the center field cameras.
See, he takes his hacks. Well, didn't see it live, but we can see it. It was recorded earlier today. Herbie Andrade serves it up underneath the scoreboard. You might see it. One ball, 2 strikes to count on Joe Musgrove. And he goes down swinging. Number 5 for Corbin.
Now you figure it's almost a guarantee that he was going to go to that slider of his that he gets so many chases on once he got 2 strikes on Joe Musgrove.
They'll intentionally walk Josh Harrison. To set up this situation, and we're going to see the pitching coach Mike Butcher come out. John talked about the adjustment that Meadows made in his second at bat. Ended up lining out to Peralta in right.
The only thing I can think of here, this meeting, is just how to attack Austin Meadows.
Big decision the Diamondbacks just made to walk Harrison intentionally. And ball 1. Meadows with 5 homers, 8 runs batted in. Bell, Mercer, Harrison, the runners. And it is 2-0. Corbin has been extra tough in these situations, men in scoring position, especially lately. His last 7 starts, when he's had men in scoring position, opponents 5 for 31, a 161 average. And it's 2-1 in a similar situation. Remember yesterday, the Pirates were leading 1-0 in the 6th. And they picked up a run off the lefty Brian Dunsing, and the base hit by Elias Diaz, and then Gregory Polanco tripled home 3 off Lucas Farrell. Bell, Mercer, Harrison aboard. 2-1 on Meadows.
Upstairs with the 2-0 fastball. What does he throw here?
Toward left field. Ball's going to get down. This is going to score a couple. Austin Meadows. 2-run opposite field double. He continues to amaze, and it's 3-0 in the 5th.
Impressive stuff. Impressive stuff. Shows you right away that he's not going to come up there and be too jumpy. Bases loaded. Oh, breaking ball in the dirt. He's looked like he knew it was coming. The fastball up and away. Able to take it. Pretty good cut at that 2-0 fastball up around the letters, and now the fastball outer half. And he just goes with it the other way. Didn't hit it extremely hard, but a liner down the line nonetheless. Big hit there.
3-0 Pirates, and now here is Starling Marte. Grounded sharply off the glove of the second baseman, Ketel Marte. This scores 2 more. And it is 5-0. Torey Lovullo decided to intentionally walk Josh Harrison, and boy, Meadows and Marte have made them pay.
Made them pay in a big way, and anytime, I talk about it all the time, why go down? It's an easy play if you stay on your feet, but why are you going down? All you do is bend over. Bend over and make a play. Probably keep that runner at third and get an out, but for whatever reason,
one thing for sure, when you go down, you're never going to get an error.
Exactly. That's what happens, and Starling appreciates it.
Yep. Starling Marte gets a 2-run single because Ketel Marte, no relation, goes down to try and make that play. Now a bouncer right to Ahmed, and this is a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Austin Meadows, the 2-run double. Starling Marte added a 2-run single. UPMC scoreboard 5-0 Pirates. There's Austin Meadows. Starling Marte getting credit for the hit. Meadows the opposite field double.
Game-changing at bats. Talk about them all the time. You get the bases loaded, you get a couple runners in scoring position, and you get the big hit. Turns everything around. That makes a huge difference.
And a first pitch strike on Chris Owings. Musgrove now has a 5-0 lead with which to work. First game he pitched as a Pirate, 7 shutout innings. Pirates beat the Cardinals 8-1. Another strike.
Just like really the only trouble Joe was in is back in the bottom of the second where the first 2 batters reached, and again, just one running scoring position, but you hit a gap shot. It's huge, but Joe didn't allow a gap shot. He made the pitches and got the outs rather easily, actually, and gets another out here rather easily. Gets it by Chris Owings.
His third. Back-to-back Ks for Musgrove.
Shortstop, Nick.
Yeah, right at him. Right where Diaz is set up.
First pitch strike.
It's pretty impressive to have a man this size.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very large man.
Yep.
That obviously can throw the ball up to 96. We've seen 96 here tonight. But the command. With all his pitches, it seems like he can throw it where he wants to. A perfectly placed slider. First pitch on knees on the corner for strike one. And he tried to throw one a little further away to get a chase. And naturally, because we're talking about the command, we get one of those.
Ray Searage is poring over his notes. Well, Musgrove too has the presence of a guy who's been around for years in a rotation. And of course, that's not the case. Started last season with the Astros in their rotation. Eventually was moved into the bullpen with great success. But this is only his 29th start in the major leagues. And down on strikes goes Nick Ahmed.
And again, and it's not just about, when we talk about command, it's not just about throwing strikes, even though he's thrown 35 of his 46 pitches for strikes. But look where they're located. Yeah. You know, on the outside corner, at the knees. Yeah, that's pretty good. 11 balls thrown. Figure he's faced 17 batters.
There's the pitcher Patrick Corbin. Couple of strikes on Corbin. See that routine Musgrove goes through, just almost Max Scherzer like. For each pitch. It's those arms.
And guys that have good command or great command, they repeat their mechanics. And almost everything's the same every pitch. Same release point.
Musgrove made his major league debut with the Astros 2 years ago. And wouldn't you know it, the pitcher Patrick Corbin on a 1-2 pitch single, so he can swing the bat.
Yeah, we talked about the athlete Joe Musgrove is. Patrick Corbin, a very good athlete, and got the little breaking ball there. Looked like a slider. Hit it hard enough to get it through the right side. Apparently he can dunk. I read a note today that you can find on YouTube him doing a 360 dunk.
Did you check it out on YouTube?
No.
Oh. Strike one on Daniel Descalso. We had a bunch of highlights going at dinner time. You had some stuff for us, but no, I didn't see the dunk.
No, I didn't look it up. I just read about it. Look at these pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about, I mean, the first one just nipping the edge on the outside corner. That one maybe a hair further outside, a bit up.
Jim Wolf, seen him call a fairly liberal strike zone, which would stand to reason. His brother, longtime former big league pitcher Randy Wolf. 1-2 the count. The runner at first base. 2 down. Joe Musgrove looking for the final out of the 5th. Ahead of the veteran Descalso. Stays 1-2.
And again, down in the zone, a couple after the first 2 pitches, sliders away, went with a 1-1 changeup, then a 1-2 changeup. And again, he has good command of the changeup, has good command of the slider, good command of the fastball. And now Descalso looks like he's going to see a fastball. Wastes it.
Early on this season, lefties are hitting .231 against Musgrove. Right-handed batters .261. Not a huge sample size, of course. It's just his 4th start. And he gets Descalso striking out the side. He's punched out 5 and he's blanking the D-backs through 5 innings.
Presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
MLB At Bat, your #1 Pirates app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Pirates home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, and game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. UPMC scoreboard 5-0. Going to the 6th. Pirates in front. Here's Corey Dickerson. He's bounced out and struck out against Patrick Corbin. So the first vote tabulations, all-star voting online, pirates.com, MLB.com. Vote for your favorite Buccos, and Corey Dickerson is 12th among outfielders. Francisco Sardelli is 4th among catchers. (2-0) on Corey Dickerson. Yep, vote at pirates.com/vote. (3-0). He doesn't walk much. We were talking earlier before the game about Corey Dickerson, that he has the second highest rate of swinging at pitches out of the zone in baseball, behind only Javier Baez. But his contact rate out of the zone is 16th best in the major leagues.
Well, he's a free swing. He likes to go up there and swing it.
And he lines it toward right. Peralta is there. That ball kind of died.
I'm telling you, I think there's definitely a difference. The ball just does not carry here. I mean, that was a great swing. Corey was looking for something that he can lift and pull. Got it, didn't get it up high enough, but it did. It just
slowed down.
Usually the ball takes off here.
Yeah. There's a line drive past the shortstop Ahmed. So Diaz is 2 for 3.
Wonder what it's like with the roof open. Remember that one game with was it Jordy Mercer? And
there was like 3 of them, weren't there?
Sean Rodriguez.
Yeah. A couple of years ago. Polanco too, I think, maybe. Just crushed the balls. Now Josh Bell. His walk leading off last inning set the stage for the 4-run frame. Missed up at 89, and it's 1-2 on Josh Bell. Corbin, his first 5 starts here in his home stadium, 4-0 and a 1.32 ERA. His last 2 starts here, 0-2 and ERA of 7.50. Gets away, and Diaz wisely put on the brakes and headed back as Murphy found it quickly.
You like the anticipation, though. He saw it in the dirt and immediately crossed over and recognized that it didn't kick too far away. And plenty of time to put on the brakes and retreat.
And now 3-2. Still full.
Josh Bell okay? I mean, that looked a little bit awkward.
He's something to watch, isn't he? He has some very unusual swings at bats. Very unique. And he draws another walk. A ton of those lately.
Shortstop.
That's the second walk for Corbin, putting 2 on for Jordy Mercer, who moved a double to right field in the 5th. And now it's like we are going to be making a change here. That is going to be it. So Corbin does not get out of the 6th. He'll go 5 1/3, responsible for the 2 on. He trails 5-0. We'll be back. See if the Pirates can add on. The Diamondbacks, and a new pitcher coming on is Braden Shipley. He did not use the bullpen cart as Patrick Corbin exits early. The Diamondbacks bringing back the bullpen carts if you want them. And you see what he's done in the minor leagues. 3 and 4, 648. What do you think, John? Anxious to see somebody use that thing?
Yeah, why wouldn't you if it's out there for you? I mean, I know, though, most bullpen guys are into their routines and like to do things the same. But, yeah, why wouldn't you use it?
In the dirt. The use of any kind of carts to wheel players, transport them from bullpens to the pitching mound goes back to the early 50s, but those golf carts were popular in the late 60s, early 70s. One ball, no strikes. As Mercer takes, it's 1-1. 2 men on base, 1 away. Shipley was recalled from AAA Reno today. It's his first appearance with the Diamondbacks this season. It's 2-1. Braden Shipley, Medford, Oregon native. It's Torey Lavello back home with the Diamondbacks after a very successful road trip to San Francisco and Colorado. And that's hit hard to center field. Owings, that is going to be caught by Owings. What a play! Bell trying to get back to first. He is out. What a play by Chris Owings. It turns out to be a double play.
Maybe. It might be a double play. We'll see if the Pirates challenge, but that was incredible. Back to the infield, full sprint towards that center field wall. And we'll see if Goldschmidt's foot stays on the bag. It looked like the throw may have.
Pirates are challenging. You can see Goldschmidt knows it. He was trying to go back to the bag after he made the catch, so this will be easy. Won't be a double play, but no less impressive for this catch by Owings.
Yep, that was something else. Man, a great jump, a great route. And you'll see Owings come into your screen, and he's just sprinting straight to the wall.
Jeez.
Reaches up.
Play.
Yep. Stayed on his feet.
Yep. Watch Goldschmidt on the Allegheny Health Network Super Mode. You see just coming off the bag, but you'll also see him go back to kind of reach for it right here. That's the best indicator. I figured he was off the bag, and another look.
Yeah, that was impressive. I can't imagine that catch problem. What?
Call him out. Goes as a double play. And the Pirates burn a challenge. Sensational catch by Chris Owings, and it was turned into a double play. Pirates challenged the call, but it stood. And another look at Goldschmidt. You see the ball, and maybe one spike might be on the side there. I don't know, but what I thought, but watch, he'll reach back for it, so he didn't think he made it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's to me tells you all you need to know. But just an absolutely sensational play by Chris Owings. And poor Jordy Mercer as Goldschmidt leads off against Musgrove.
He hit a ball about 405 feet.
turns into a double play.
Only an infielder, middle infielder, coming up through the Diamondback system and in the big leagues for a while. 1 ball, 1 strike on Goldschmidt. 2, 3, 4 in the order. He has struck out and bounced to third. As Musgrove goes back to work. Checks.
What I love about this here matchup with Musgrove and Goldschmidt, we're talking about how hot he is and pitch around him. And be careful with him.
Yeah.
Musgrove.
He's doing the exact opposite, attacking him. And up the middle, a base hit.
You know, there's so many pitchers that wouldn't want to throw him a strike, you know, and not Joe Musgrove.
Well, the first hit of the night for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, tried to get that breaking ball a little further away, left it middle. And when you're hot like Goldschmidt, you're going to hit mistakes hard. Hard to call that a mistake, even, you know, it's just the location wasn't perfect like most of his pitches.
Under the glove of Bell, Musgrove gets over there. Harrison makes the play.
That's a little PFP play. The old 4-1.
They get the out, but and we've talked this before, that Josh Bell's made strides defensively, but still he continues to put in the work and needs to continue to put in the work, because a lot of first basemen will make that play and throw on to second. Get the lead man. So Goldschmidt is there for John Ryan Murphy. Murphy hit a ball to the wall in left. A line drive that Corey Dickerson tracked down last time up. First at bat, he led off the second inning with a single to center. See the Musgrove pitch count at 66. Third time the Diamondbacks have gotten their leadoff man on. And the big cut by Murphy. Goes to 1-2.
I think they're talking about that last pitch that Joe Musgrove threw. It looked like it was down the middle. It was a cutter. And it looked like Josh Harrison said, that's nasty.
And looked like Goldschmidt was nodding in agreement.
And now Josh knows we're trying to read his lips.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Two balls, 2 strikes on John Ryan Murphy. Stays 2-2.
Yeah, and there's a couple pitches in this at bat where it's like kind of in the middle and up, and we haven't seen that much from Joe Musgrove tonight.
a rare full count. Murphy will see at least 7 pitches. First time a batter's gone full on Musgrove. Murphy calling time. Big pitch here. David Peralta on deck. It's going to be a long run. As though Bell was going to give chase and then stopped, and Meadows kept coming. Foul ball.
Yeah, I don't think Josh had a play. That ball was quite a ways down the line. We'll see where Austin Meadows, he was kind of playing Murphy into right center, so he had a long way to go. Just ball nobody can get to.
Still 3-2. Eighth pitch coming to Murphy. And things really now slowing down.
And it seems like, and this is something I know Clint Hurdle has talked about with Diaz behind the plate, and how well he's worked with the pitchers, and we haven't seen many shakes tonight.
And it got a piece of him. So it'll be a hit batter, second Diamondback that's been hit. 2 on for Peralta with 1 out. And the Pirates finishing up this series, and then we'll be back home on Friday. Free Shirt Friday, Pirates Red, 7:05. First 20,000 fans get a Pirates t-shirt thanks to Sheets. That's Trevor Williams modeling that free shirt you'll receive. Plus, it's also a $1 dog night that's presented by Sugardale. Get your tickets at pirates.com/Free Shirt Friday. So keep that in mind, that it's a Free Shirt Friday, the Pirates and Redlegs. And then the Brewers are in 1 week from tonight, a 3-game series against the Brewers, and then the Diamondbacks follow. They'll be in for 4. Pirates.com for tickets. Ray Searage first visit to the mound. So Big Joe now going to face David Peralta. Peralta last 9 games hitting .368 with 4 home runs. Right there for strike 1. Three years ago, Peralta hit 17 homers, drove in 78, his first full year in the big leagues.
Boy, that pitch, look at how
way
far
out
that
there.
was in off the plate. And Diaz setting up in there. Peralta. Big cut, but way in on his hands.
And a pop up towards center field. Starling Marte. For the second out as Goldschmidt moves to third. Peralta flies out. Musgrove will face the switch hitting second baseman Ketel Marte. He's bounced out and struck out.
And with Goldschmidt going up to third, the only thing I think about is Neverauskas is going to loosen. Murphy, the catcher, at first base. Now Bell holding him on. And with a 5-0 lead, you almost think, why bother?
Yeah. Yep.
Play behind them.
Yeah.
Take away that hole.
Great point. Ball one.
I mean, it would be you just be right behind them,
Yeah.
keep them close, and there's no way you're going to go and try to run them.
One ball, one strike now. Ketel Marte from Misao, Dominican Republic, which is about 50 miles south of Santo Domingo, where Starling Marte grew up. Marte, a very popular surname in the Dominican. We got Ketel Marte from Seattle, the Gene Segura deal a couple years ago. 2-1. Musgrove really has not had to labor much tonight, but this sixth inning, which began with a hard single by Goldschmidt, and now 2-2 as he goes way in on Ketel Marte.
Yeah, look at that thing cut.
Yeah.
Chasing him in there.
'84 pitch outing against the Dodgers, his last start. And he gets him. Strikes out Marte. Leaves two. He is blanking the Diamondbacks through 6 innings. This is where Elias Diaz asked for it. In the dirt. Got it. Struck him out. 5-0 Pirates through 6. In the desert, Bucks leading 5-0. Joe Musgrove pitching shutout ball through 6, and he leads things off here against Braden Shipley. Again, a gracious call from Jim Wolf. Shipley, thanks to the outstanding catch by his center fielder that was turned into a double play. Jordy Mercer drove Owings back to the wall. Musgrove, hefty cut.
Yeah, he's not afraid to let it go.
Now Jay Hay on deck. And then Austin Meadows. Good take there from Musgrove.
Nice little take. To recognize the speed and spin. You got to think he loved to get the news he was going to the National League.
He's a National Leaguer. Check swing bouncer. Lamb. Look at Musgrove too. He's not giving up. Running down that line.
Second baseman.
And then Tanaka ran that hard and he pulled both hamstrings.
Yeah, and then you hear people say something about the DH. It's unbelievable. A Major League Baseball player can't run 90 feet, and then they say it's because of the DH.
Yeah,
because he's actually playing the game of baseball. That's unbelievable. Strike on Jay Hay. Joe Musgrove, a baseball player. That's what you are when you're in the National League. 0-2. Intentional walk to Jay Hay to set the stage for Austin Meadows to foil that strategy with an opposite field double. It's going to be out of play. Stephen Brault, Joe Musgrove's buddy, high school teammate. He said none of this surprised him, watching Musgrove the way he has played the game just outside of the standard pitching part of it.
I guess that's fairly common if you go to a school in California or Florida or Texas. I mean, that's just is so incredible.
Oh, Harrison doesn't like that. That was 96. Up around the head.
Yeah, that's scary. That's dangerous.
And he's saying something right there to John Ryan Murphy.
And Josh's point, the points he's made in the past is if you, yeah, that's in the A in Harrison. If you can't command the ball when you're throwing inside, don't throw it inside.
We have already several times talked about the relationship between the Pirates and the Diamondbacks over the years. And back to Paul Goldschmidt having his hand broken by a Pirates pitcher. As Meadows takes a strike, and the next day, not the next opportunity, but the very next day, a relief pitcher who's currently on the DL, Randall Delgado, hit Andrew McCutchen in obvious retaliation
on a 2-1 pitch.
Yeah, after he had set him up with some sliders away, which was what McCutchen was talking about. And then McCutcheon the next day ended up going on the disabled list. So there was some bad blood. Ball and a strike on Meadows, and close, but McCutcheon back. And then a couple years ago, Harrison back. Andrew McCutcheon with the Giants today, by the way. They lost in Miami 7-5. Bunch of finals in. The Cardinals end up beating the Padres 5-2. Cubs are leading the Brewers 3-2 in 11. They are in the top of the 11th with the Cubs leading at Milwaukee. But a couple years ago, the Pirates had Archimedes Caminero, the hard-throwing right-handed reliever, hit a couple of Diamondbacks in one inning. He was just all over the place. And the next half inning, the Diamondbacks hit a Pirate, and now 93 up and in, and now the Pirates bench is yelling.
And for the same reason, if you can't locate the ball in there, well, don't throw it in there. Because when you're missing up around the guy's head, which now it's 2 batters in a row, you're messing with people's careers. And if you're John Murphy, who's been around, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of major league experience, but he's been around. Well, that would be the guy I'd target. And then you'd yell at him, quit setting up inside if you can't throw it inside.
Well, we know Joe Musgrove battles. We saw that, and he got high praise from not only his teammates, but maybe in particular Pirates fans for what they believed was him taking matters into his own hands after the controversial Rizzo slide at PNC Park. When Musgrove was on the bases, he broke up a double play, and Javier Baez took exception. And now Meadows puts a drive toward right center field, and there's Owings, who makes the catch. And boy, Harrison desperately wanted to get to second, just not able to take that chance. So Meadows flies out to right center.
Another good swing of the bat, another ball that just went nowhere, you know, and thought maybe that had a chance. Not even close. Jay Hay thinking about it. And as well as Meadows has swung the bat, he's had a bunch of at bats like that, to where you know, maybe if the conditions were different, just missed the ball a little
for the out. So the Pirates do not score in the top of the 7th inning. Big Joe's headed to the mound.
Diamondbacks. One guy that knows a lot about this Diamondbacks-Pirates rivalry is former Pirate Kevin Young. He's going to be our guest tomorrow on Twitter Tuesday. Send in any questions you have for the former Buccos slugger. Played all but one of his 12 seasons in a Pirates uniform. The hashtag is Bucks Tuesday. Anything you want to know, ask it. He sits down with us tomorrow. Greg and John.
All right, Robbie, we'll see what happens here. Joe Musgrove faces Chris Owings, leading 5-0. Yep, there you have it. And Joe Musgrove, he has won over his teammates. I mean, he just no wasting time.
And it's over with.
Yep.
Police it. I mean, and I think that's interesting. There was no warning, no nothing.
Yeah, that was most interesting. Yeah. That's really old school. So here is Nick Ahmed.
And know who that sends a message to more than anybody else? Shipley.
Yeah. Yep.
And maybe to Murphy.
Yeah.
And that's how you've always policed it.
Mm-hmm. Don't have to get the league involved.
If Owings is mad at anybody, he should be mad at his pitcher.
Right. Now in the dirt, that allows Owings to reach second on a wild pitch. Shipley is on deck.
No, that's crazy.
That is really crazy. Hard to imagine that Lovello is going to let him bat.
Especially if there's a couple guys on.
And there will be.
How can you do that?
And they're going to wave home the runner. It'll be an RBI single for Owings to make it, for Ahmed to make it 5-1 as Owings scores.
That stinks for Joe Musgrove.
He really does. He's protecting his teammate, and it costs him a run. The wild pitch, of course, moved him to second. And then Ahmed, the base hit. Shipley reacts like he's mad at the home plate umpire for calling that a strike. This time a ball, 1-1.
I mean, and if you would have ever thought that he was going to come up and hit, I mean, that's the thing you never ever see. I think it's so bizarre you never see it, but you never see the pitcher who did the hitting get hit, ever.
But yeah, if you had known that, you said there's just no way you would have expected this, to see Shipley come to the plate. Taps toward third. Freeze off balance. And a nice job by Bell. Oh, they call him safe. I don't know why Freeze decided to go with that off balance throw, but the throw apparently pulls Bell off the bag, and it's an E5, and it's first and second.
Oh yeah, he has time. As you'll see here, as this throw comes in, Shipley's still 3 steps from first base.
That's going to be it for Musgrove. Boy, I guess if the Pirates had a challenge, they would have challenged that, but they don't have one left. Because it was not unlike Goldschmidt. And Musgrove leaves with 2 on and nobody out.
It's time for the on-track bullpen delivery.
Tonight again, John was outstanding.
Yeah, very good, and everything was working. He was athletic, made a beautiful play there. He got some swing and miss, some beautiful change-ups, the fastball when he needed to. There was a few pitches in the last couple innings where he was up a little bit, more in the middle of the plate than we've seen. Maybe most importantly, he's there for his teammates. Doesn't hesitate to protect his second baseman. And it's cost him a run. And hopefully Edgar Santana can strand these 2 left on.
Faces Daniel Descalso, who has flied out, bounced out, and struck out, and he bounces this one through. And the runner going to be waved home. Meadows' throw is off the mark and gets past the catcher, but Santana is there. RBI single for Descalso. Makes it 5-2.
And just finds a hole. Just perfectly placed between Bell and Harrison. Probably an ill-advised throw there from Meadows. Either one, if you're going to come home, it's got to go through the cutoff man. You might have had a play at third. Fortunately, Descalso was kind of no man's land over there. Didn't see that ball trickle away, or there'd be 2 runners in scoring position.
And now it's Paul Goldschmidt. Strike 1. Rookie Edgar Santana. Runners at the corners and nobody out. Two and one.
Yeah, good job there. Diaz keeping that in front. Keeping the runner Shipley at third, keeping the runner Descalso at first. Double play still in order, but Goldschmidt does not hit into double plays. Just a couple this year.
Fooled again by the breaking ball.
Yeah, this slider almost backs up. They call that the cement mixer. Just kind of, you see it up and in, and it just kind of spins. Doesn't break.
Did he
Yes,
go?
he did.
No. 3-2.
Nah, never mind.
Jake Lamb on deck. Got him. Edgar Santana strikes out Paul Goldschmidt with first and third and no one out.
Yeah, uncomfortable looking at bat for Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, that's not the best slider. It's up and out over the plate, actually. But he wasn't seeing it. Comes up empty. That's a big out.
Righty's hitting 260 off him this season. Lefty's 157. Santana retired all 4 batters that he faced on Sunday at Wrigley as he came on to get the last out of the 6th yesterday, and a 1-2-3-7. He falls behind 2-0. Musgrove back in the dugout. Shipley and Descalso the runners. Hit hard to left. Dickerson back. And it is gone. And it's a tie game as Jake Lamb hits his 4th. And it's 5-5.
Elevated fastball. You figure he's coming with a fastball, but middle. Well, that's the tying run at the plate. You throw a middle fastball. A guy like Lamb, who drove in 120 last year, 30 home runs last year, only a couple third basemen more productive than Lamb the last couple of years, and that's Arenado and Bryant. So he gets a mistake in the middle of the plate and doesn't miss it.
So a no decision, incredibly enough, for Joe Musgrove, as well as he pitched. And you know, it just goes back to, are you willing to sacrifice, in this case, a win to protect a teammate? Well, in terms of Joe Musgrove, now the Pirates could still win the ball game, but
and they're all unearned too. That throwing error. Those last 3 are unearned. The 3-run homer.
catcher Murphy. 0-2.
stand corrected.
3 of the runs Musgrove gives up 2 are earned.
Yeah, 2 are earned.
Now a strikeout of Murphy.
2 to Musgrove, 2 to Santana.
Jake Lamb, opposite field, his 4th home run of the year. And David Peralta is the 8th man to bat.
The strange thing is they're down 5 going into this inning. Hits the first batter. Ahmed drives him in. It's 5-1, and he lets the pitcher bat.
Yeah. Very odd. Popped up Freeze. And a wild bottom of the 7th. It began with Joe Musgrove retaliating, and it's now 5-5.
Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Well, the home run by Jake Lamb. It's a brand new ball game, a 5 spot in the 7th inning. And Braden Shipley is now out of the ball game, and here is Archie Bradley.
Hard throwing right-hander, 2.30 ERA. Opponent sitting just 180 against him.
Freeze was 0 for 3 against the starter Corbin. Freeze, Dickerson, Diaz. Colin Moran. Pinch hitting role here at some point. And that's going to drop in for a base hit. David Freese feels as bad as anybody about what happened in the bottom half of the inning. That error on the ground ball hit by the pitcher Shipley.
Left fielder.
And that off balance throw.
Well, Bradley was down in the zone, 3 straight fastballs to get ahead 1 and 2. And then, with 2 strikes, kind of just challenging Freese. I'm guessing he didn't mean to leave the fastballs up middle of the plate, but the Pirates, nice opportunity here, get the leadoff man aboard.
Dickerson 0 for 3. Lined a ball to the warning track in the 6th inning off Corbin, who went 5 1/3, gave up 5. Braden Shipley 1 2/3 scoreless. Slaps it toward the home dugout.
You see what Bradley does. I mean, lots of fastballs. He's got that good velocity. So far, 7 pitches, all heat.
And a double play possibility. Ahmed, they get 1. Slowly hit. And Force goes 6-4. He erases Freese. And it brings up Elias Diaz.
Well, Ahmed did everything he could. He came and charged it and got it to his second baseman quickly, but Dickerson out of the box, running hard as always.
Diaz 2 for 3. And he was really upset with himself after Owings was hit by the pitch, and with Ahmed at the plate. That wild pitch, he blocked it but couldn't keep it close, allowing Owings to move up 90 feet. He then scored on the Ahmed single. And that's a double play possibility, but dropped by Ahmed, so they'll get the 1 out as he was trying to transfer it quickly and get the throw off. 2 down.
Well, let's see if Josh Bell can make that one hurt, because that would have been 2 if Ahmed's able to get it out of his glove and get a throw off. I mean, everything was perfect as far as Marte getting it to Ahmed. He just lost the handle.
Josh Bell with just 4 home runs so far this season. He's walked twice in this ball game and struck out. His last home run came in St. Louis on the 31st of May. Lefties hit just 190 against Bradley. He's not given up a home run to a left-handed batter. Former first-round pick as a starting pitcher, and he was for a time, but they converted him to the bullpen with great success last year. Now it's 2-2.
Fastball just fouled off by Bell. Outside corner.
3-2 count. And he walked him. Another free pass for Bell.
How about that?
That's unbelievable. He walked 3 times yesterday, 3 times in this game. And it's Jordy Mercer, who was robbed of extra bases by Chris Owings in the 6th. Bloop double to right in the 5th.
Jordy's always been a pretty good fastball hitter. We'll see. You have to assume that's all Bradley has thrown so far.
Chris Owings, that great catch, turned it into a double play as Josh Bell could not get back in time. And it's a ball and a strike on Jordy Mercer. Career .295 hitter against the Diamondbacks. And off the glove of the pitcher, and that will cost them an out. Archie Bradley got the glove on it, and now they're loaded for pinch hitter Colin Moran.
How about that? And they didn't stay with the fastball. This was a breaking ball to Mercer, and he hits it hard, and Bradley falls to that side of the mound. He just couldn't handle it. The ball hit too hard for him to make a play. Clanks off the fingers of his glove into no man's land.
Looked as though that was headed right to the second baseman, Marte. And now again, the pitching coach going to go over a scouting report. Colin Moran. A battle of the beards here. Moran hits for Santana. Pinch hitting appearance for Colin Moran. .271 average for the year. He is 4 for 8 off the bench.
No doubt the brighter beard belongs to Colin. Both equally bushy.
Yep. Starts him off with a breaking ball and a strike. Misses with the fastball. A ball and a strike. Archie Bradley facing Colin Moran. The Pirates rookie third baseman. Elias Diaz, Josh Bell, Jordy Mercer on the bases. And ball 2. Two 1 count.
Would have to think he'd get a fastball.
Steve Wright 2-2.
And again, that's the one thing too. I mentioned Bradley with a couple of pitches that he missed middle of the plate to freeze after he got ahead with 2 strikes. Outside of that, man, he's been around the edges for the most part. He hasn't left any fastballs since that freeze at bat middle of the plate.
And Moran fly ball to center. And Owings is there, and the Pirates leave them loaded. Tied at 5, heading to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th. Sean Rodriguez takes over at second base. Makes you wonder about Josh Harrison's health. He was hit by a pitch which led to Chris Owings hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 7th. This is the top half. Fastball. Of course, he stayed in the game in the bottom of the 7th. Now Kyle Crick.
Battle of the bullpens. Kyle Crick trying to keep it knotted at 5. 24th appearance, 21 punch outs, 21 2/3 innings.
Tel Marte is 0 for 3. And up the middle. A leadoff hit. He's on for Chris Owings. Owings led off last inning, and Joe Musgrove hit him the first pitch. Marte diving back, and now he seems.
I'm wondering, did Bell catch this, or did it hit Marte? Marte might have kept this ball from going into right field.
Yeah, you're right.
He slid on it.
Play made by Elias Diaz. And a breaking pitch from Crick.
Yeah, this curveball way outside. That's pretty quick reaction there from Diaz.
Two-0 count.
You need ground ball at somebody. An infielder.
Yeah. And now trouble for Crick. 3-0. Brad Boxberger up in the bullpen. Richie Bradley working 3 consecutive games, and there's ball 4, not close. 2 on, nobody out. In the bottom of the 8th. Now it's Nick Ahmed. He'll look down at the third base coach, Tony Perez-Chica. They'll be bunting the runners over. John Jay comes out on deck. Recently acquired in Kansas City. That's where Lovello has Ahmed doing here. Squaring, taking, and now they've got the runner caught between second and third, but he is so fast. Marte took off for third as Diaz threw to second.
Every catcher, this is what they think of doing. Anytime that there's a bunt situation with a runner on second and they bunt through the ball or they pull back, they try to get the runner off of second base. Ooh, that's actually
maybe he's out. Well, they don't have a challenge, but they can ask when you're out of challenges, and they will have a crew chief review here.
And that right hand may have gotten in there. And then I always wonder about this particular roll with the foot blocking the bag. Man, yeah, that's very, very close.
So the crew chief, Sam Holbrook, and the man who made the call on the headsets back to New York with Jim Wolf, the home plate umpire.
Foot blocks the left hand. Does the right hand get to the bag before the tag? It's just too hard to tell.
There's just no way to tell whether Freese is actually tagging him at that point, at that angle.
I mean, you could sit there and assume, oh, his glove definitely hit him before his right hand, or before his hand hit the bag, but you can't see it. There's no visual proof.
Yeah, he's safe. So it's first and third. And nobody out. Loads of trouble now for the Pirates here. 5-5, nobody out, and a 1-0 count on Nick Ahmed. Look at Neverauskas. Wow. Diamondbacks lead it 6-5. Goodness gracious. Wow, Crick on course, a wild pitch. 6-5 Arizona.
Wow, the breaking ball again, and that's a couple he's yanked through the left-handed batter's box.
Still nobody out. Chris Owings moving to second on the wild pitch. And now a bunt foul. Ahmed wanting to get that man to third.
And I'm not sure why Ahmed would want to bunt the ball to first base. It doesn't make any sense. Bunt it to third. You make the third baseman vacate, and he can crawl over. Only one man charging, and that's the first baseman.
And now a balk's been called. What a disaster since the Pirates hit Chris Owings. Infield in. Two and two.
98. A little anger behind that pitch, I believe.
Trying to cut off the run. The infield in. Two and two on Ahmed. He had the base hit that scored Owings after the wild pitch uncorked by Musgrove last inning. Brad Boxberger up there now ready to close it. Trying to earn the save for Bradley. But nobody out. So he's not going to be in there for quite some time. John Jay on deck. See if Crick can keep it a one-run deficit. To Mercer, nice little play, soft hands there, gets the out. One down.
Never going to send the runner from third on contact with nobody out. Now with one out here, wouldn't be surprised to see Torey Lovullo choose to go on contact. It's going to be against another pitcher.
Unless Clint Hurdle's out there. Yeah. See, he's going to. Wonder if John Jay is going to hit or not. Been a Pirate killer over the years. We'll find out. Davidis Neverauskas coming on. And Josh Harrison is hit by that fastball from Braden Shipley, and none too happy about it, up around the neck. So Austin Meadows also gets buzzed. Joe Musgrove, first batter, first pitch in the bottom of the 7th, hits Chris Owings, who moves to second on a wild pitch and scores on a Nick Ahmed single. Then the pitcher, Braden Shipley, stays in the game, bats, and for some reason David Freese threw off balance and threw it off the mark for an error. Daniel Descalso facing Edgar Santana, RBI hit. Santana would strike out Paul Goldschmidt, but Jake Lamb, game-tying home run off the rookie Edgar Santana. And moments ago, a wild pitch uncorked by Kyle Crick. He gave up a hit and a walk. Scores the go-ahead run, and now John Jay faces Dovydas Neverauskas.
Dovydas, 8 games, 8 2/3 innings, 5 punch-outs, 3 Ks. A couple of innings the other day in Chicago, looked great. Picture perfect blocking there by Diaz. Just put the glove down and use the body.
John Jay, longtime Cardinal. .325 career hitter against Pittsburgh. Two and one. Important run at third, 1 out. Neverauskas back in the big leagues. Looked much better the other day. His second go round after starting the year with Pittsburgh. A strike is called.
Very good pitch behind an account, just to be able to go up there, flip that breaking ball right on the outside edge.
Couple of scoreless innings at Wrigley on Friday after his recall from AAA Indianapolis. But he walks Jay. And now it's Descalso.
Left fielder, Daniel Descalso.
Pretty much tells the story. And Hurdle didn't like the word frustration the other day when asked in a post-game press conference, but well, this one has to be frustrating. 5-0 lead. And drive to right center field by Descalso. Off the fence. This scores 2 more. Descalso to third. 8-5 Arizona.
Again, not sure what that pitch was. I don't think it's a fastball, but up out over the plate.
Goldschmidt 1 for 4.
awkward looking swing here. Another little backup breaking ball. Just stayed inside.
Cal Crick gives up 2. And Goldschmidt caught looking. Josh Harrison removed from tonight's game due to left shoulder blade discomfort.
Third baseman,
Jake Lamb, one of the heroes tonight for Arizona, the 3-run homer off Edgar Santana. Can't hold up.
I mean, his breaking ball has been looking nasty. Nebraska's. Made Goldschmidt look bad. Trying to get his team in the dugout.
And another run will score. And another wild pitch. A disaster in Arizona.
Yeah. He's thrown some good ones. That one way out in front of the plate. Nothing Diaz could do about that. Anytime you have leads late, it's just so costly.
Arizona scores 4. Leads at 9-5. Hard to believe. Diamondbacks coming back down 5-0 to take the lead. Well, tomorrow, game 2 of the series here on AT&T Sportsnet. Trevor Williams against Clay Buchholz. Coverage starts at 9. Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Pirates one more shot, down 4. John Jay takes over in right field. Boxberger no longer in a save situation. He is 14 of 16 in save situations, but just looking for 3 outs here. David Peralta has moved to left.
Yeah, Boxberger, not a hard thrower. Low 90s fastball to go with a slider and a change.
Rodriguez, he'll take that. Hit by the pitch to start the inning. Josh Harrison left with left shoulder blade discomfort after he was hit by a Braden Shipley pitch.
Austin Meadows.
So Austin Meadows, who had a 2-run double in the 5th. This would be the largest come from behind loss of the season for the Pirates, and their worst since they blew a 5-run lead in Baltimore last year on June 7th. That one stung. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That series stung. Well, now 2-0.
And change up, people grumbling. Borderline. Bottom of the zone.
Strike. Boxberger just getting in some work. He last pitched against San Francisco 5 days ago. And they get 1 and they get 2 outs.
Yeah, Sean doesn't want anything but to be able to get a piece of the shortstop and break this up. He goes in hard and wide. It's a perfectly legal slide, but Ahmed able to get over him, make a strong, accurate throw.
Starling Marte, a couple of hits. Boxberger, he blew a save opportunity against San Francisco last Wednesday. 9th inning home run by Alan Hansen. And the toughest loss of the year happens tonight in Phoenix. Incredible.
Yeah, that's a shame. A nicely played game. A great pitched game by Joe Musgrove, and was just dealing. And then the wheels fell off. I don't know how else to say it. The wheels fell off. You give up all those runs in just a couple of innings in the 8th and 9th inning. 9 runs allowed.
And I don't know that anybody would suggest that if you had to do over again, you wouldn't want Musgrove to do what he did, but